Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about self-employed versus working for someone else. Which is better? Well, that's for you to decide. It all depends what you want out of your life. Do you want freedom of your time? Do you want to be able to pay yourself and not have someone else pay you for, giving your time to a company? And, essentially, do you want autonomy over your life? Do you want self-governance over your life? Do you want to have ultimate control over your life? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. So let's get into the pros of working for a company. So obviously you have stable income, you have work-life separation, you have benefits, you might have some, help with networking, tuition assistance, things of that nature. But first and foremost, let's talk about the stable income aspect of working for a company. When you work for a company, you're going to get a stable income, a set amount of, money every week, every 2 weeks, or however, what your time period of getting paid is. And, you can budget accordingly with the pay that you receive every paycheck. So when it comes to the benefits, obviously you have the classic 401k, you have paid time off, you have some tuition assistance. Some companies might even offer you gym memberships. Some companies might even offer employee discounts depending if you work at a retail store or, if you work for like a, office type of company, you could get like discounts on, flights, things of that nature. And also with benefits comes the health insurance. Some companies offer really good health insurance. Some companies offer really bad health insurance. It all depends, hit or miss in that aspect of working for a company. Working for a company means there's a lot less risk. There's not a lot of responsibility other than your role in the company. You don't have to worry about, if a pipe bursts, you don't have to worry about finding a plumber. If, the lights stop working, you don't have to worry about finding an electrician. Your main goal for when you work for a company is to just do your job, be there, and basically slave away for that company, right? You don't have anything else to do but to, do your job and get paid, go home. So once you're done with a day at work, that's it. Your responsibilities stay at work, and you are no longer, responsible for anything else at that job, at that site of work, right? Which is nice. You get to go home, relax, eat, rest, sleep, and you don't have to worry about, anything else happening at the workplace. So that is I would say a big plus when you work for a company. In my opinion, you don't have to worry about anything else when you get home, which you can only imagine if you're a business owner, the things you have to worry about after you go home. I don't think the work stops when you leave the company. When it comes to structures and routines working at a company can provide you with established goals, schedules, and processes. This type of structure can help you reduce uncertainty and also keep you focused on the job. So that's a big important thing when you work for a company is staying focused, because you don't want to sway away. You don't want to lose track of what you're doing, because that can probably cost you a lot later down the line, especially if you work for a big company and you have a really good salary. You don't want to mess with that kind of thing, because you could lose your job at any moment if you sway away from your goals, your tasks. When you work for a company, there's a lot of opportunities for growth. They call it climbing the ladder here in America. So as long as you do your work, as long as you show up every day and you really put in the effort and the time at the job, you are probably going to get the opportunity to climb up the ladder, get another position, a better position, higher paying position. And, that will, boost your confidence and make you want to stay at that company that you work for at the moment. But it does take a long time, and it does take a lot of patience. Also, some companies don't even offer the chance for you to grow or level up or get a different position or get a higher salary. I'm sure that there are companies out there that don't offer salary bonuses or just bonuses in general, which is absolutely absurd to me. I can't wrap my head around that. Like, how do you expect an employee to grow and raise their confidence and want to stay at that company if a company doesn't offer raises every year, or whatever time frame they do it? But yeah, that is another aspect of working for a company. So when it comes to networking, you're constantly around your colleagues, your coworkers, executives. That can open the door to many different opportunities down the line in your career, which is actually I believe, a good thing for your career, as long as you want to work, for a company for the long term of your life. And there's nothing wrong with that. Working for a company is, like I said, good, stable income. There's a lot of pros with it, and networking is just one of them, and a huge advantage to any person that works in the white collar field in America. Networking is very important. You always want to stay connected with people, even if you leave companies, and you always want to have those relationships with those people that you've met, because you never know when it could come down the line and you want to get a new job, and you can hit up someone from your former jobs that has a connection with the other job that you're looking to get. It can always come back and be an advantage to you um, when you are looking for another job. And then we have the legal side of working for a company, such as taxes, compliance, things of that nature. That is all handled by the company and not you. Payroll is handled by the company, not you. You're not the one responsible for yourself getting paid because you work for another person or company. So that right there is another weight off your shoulders. Your job is just to do your job, essentially, at the job. So now that we listed off all the facts when you work for a company, let's talk about my personal experience working for different companies throughout my early career. So obviously, when you work for a company, you come in at a certain time and you can leave at a certain time. You get paid that stable income that I mentioned. You get paid a certain amount of dollars, and you know how much you're gonna get paid without a doubt. All right. Um, there's never that uncertainty of, am I gonna get paid enough money, or am I gonna get paid the right amount of money that I am contractually supposed to get. Right. There is no doubt about that. Also, working for a company can sometimes be, soul sucking, draining, tiring, because you have to abide by those companies' rules, policies, terms. Right, you're at their mercy, because you're getting paid by them, so you have to follow the rules, obey, or else you will get fired. There's no doubt about that. If you don't listen, you're gonna get fired. If you don't do your job, you're gonna get fired. Yeah, I've seen it. Even though I'm still early in my career, I have seen people just either get quit on the job, throw their stuff away in the trash, and they're just gone. Or actually, and I have seen people get fired as well in companies, which is always tough. There are good people that get fired for some reason. I don't understand why. I guess it's just internal politics when you work for a company, which I don't like. Yeah, the politics when you work for companies sucks, and yeah, it's like they hide things behind your back sometimes, and I don't like that aspect of working for a company. Let me know your guys' thoughts about that down below. If you guys have had experience with companies hiding stuff behind your back, or they're planning something that you don't know about, but you should, in a sense. So let me know what you guys think about that. But yeah, it's really what you want out of life when you work for a company. Do you want to work for someone for the rest of your life, for the next, I don't know, 30, 40 years, whatever it may be? And there's no problem with that. You absolutely can, and that is it is respected in in the society, working for someone else, because working on your own, or working, being self-employed, is a whole different ball game. It's not for everyone. It's only for those who really, I guess, are mentally strong enough, or are born for those kinds of things. It takes a certain type of individual, I think, to work for yourself and not for someone else. Yeah, I think that starts from early on. I think that's nurtured into you as you grow in life. You'll see what you want in life. Some people just know it. They have that it factor. They know what they want out of life. Now let's talk about self-employment. Obviously, I've seen a lot of people online say, "Oh, I wish I could work for myself, so I don't have to wake up every day at the same time working for someone else, slaving away for someone else." Well, listen. Like I said, not everybody is built for that. Not everybody is ready for that, and quite frankly, not everybody is born for that. I think that you have to be a certain type of individual to take on those responsibilities and roles, and have that weight on your shoulder of working on your own, or working for yourself, essentially, right? So as an employee of a company, the buck does not stop with you. When you go on vacation, the buck doesn't stop because you're on vacation and you work for someone else. But when you're working for yourself, the buck does stop with you. So, the weight of the success of the company is on your shoulders, and it's up to you to keep that company going, to keep the money flowing, to keep the business strong and growing. I get it, it's not easy. Um, when you go home every night, you're still thinking about how I can improve my company. I don't want my company to shut down. What are some things that will help me uh, improve my company? I'm sure that there's a lot of things that goes through people's minds that are self-employed and that work for themselves. So whoever works for themselves, whoever is self-employed, please let me know down in the comments your experience working for yourself. How is it? Do you work, whenever you want? How are the hours? What about payroll? How does that work? I'd really love to know. I'd love to learn. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Let's continue. So let's go with me, for an example, right? I'm doing this YouTube thing, which I do really enjoy and I do like, and constantly thinking of how I can improve my videos, how I can improve my thumbnails. If my speaking is okay, how can I improve my speaking, right? There are a lot of nuances when it comes to making these YouTube videos. And that is if you want to become a really good creator and want to do this full time. For now, I do this like part time, but even so, I like doing it on my own time because I make my own rules. I get to choose what videos I want to make, and there's no one, behind me or above me telling me what I can and what I can't make, right? It's on me to produce my videos and to create my videos and get them out there for you guys to watch and really uh, let me know what you guys think of my videos. Obviously, that's the whole goal of this. And yeah, that is a little example of myself, working for myself, doing this YouTube thing. Yeah, even with YouTube, it's on your own time, right? You're doing this on your own time. You have the freedom of making videos whenever you want. And yeah, I do enjoy, like I said, and YouTube is a great outlet for people who want to talk about things, express themselves, and just get some stuff off their chest, really. Or you can be a different type of creator where you make different types of videos where you're just not yapping like I am, but you're actually doing some other things, traveling, food blogs, sports, whatever it may be. Any type of genre, there are people out there doing it on their own time, self-employed. And then there are people on a bigger scale where they actually have huge businesses, manufacturers, distributors, things of that nature, vendors, right? There's so many different types of self-employed people out there. I can keep going on with naming things like painters, electricians, plumbers, your blue collar staple people. Yeah, those people are all needed, and being self-employed is great. It's imperative that you really know what you want and are ready to be able to take on that type of work when you are self-employed. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash that like button. It would help me out a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. So this video and my channel is geared to a larger audience on YouTube. It would help me out a lot. And I really appreciate you guys watching. So I will see you guys next time. Peace.